Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, and thought someone was standing in your room, beside your wardrobe? I did. But the thing, it wasn't exactly a person. At least, not exactly. When I was around 19, I had this habit: I'd hang my clothes after I woke up. Nothing strange about that, right? But some night I'd wake up, and I'd see them. My clothes, hanging there, looking human. Your brain plays tricks on you when you're half asleep. Your eyes barely open, you see shapes in the dark, and your mind fills in the blanks. But the worst part, the part that makes your stomach drop, is when you know it's not a trick. You know it's there. At first glance, my sleepy eyes would trick me. I'd think someone was in my room. Someone standing, just watching. I'd freeze. Not move. Not breathe too loud. The air would feel heavy, almost suffocating. My heart would race so fast I could hear it pounding in my ears, like a drum in a quiet, empty room. And when I blinked, really looked, it was just the clothes. Carelessly hung. Alone. Waiting. Or so I thought. But some nights, it wasn't so easy to convince myself. There was this feeling. A weight. Something pressing in the corner of my room. Like shadows leaning closer. I could hear my own breathing, uneven, shallow, and sometimes, if I listened carefully, I could hear a soft rustle. Not the wind, not the fan. Something else. My room would feel smaller. My walls, closer. The wardrobe seemed taller, darker. I'd lie in bed, staring at it, wondering if my imagination was trying to kill me first, before anything else could. I started noticing patterns. It always happened at night, always when I was alone. And the first few seconds were always the same. I'd wake up, barely opening my eyes, and see it. The shape. The figure. My clothes. Or, something that looked like clothes. I'd tell myself, it's just clothes. It's just the way I hung them. But my gut knew better. My instincts screamed. Something wasn't right. I could feel it, like static electricity crawling over my skin, a cold pressure against my chest, as if the air itself was watching me. Some nights, I tried to test myself. I'd get up slowly, tiptoeing toward the wardrobe, trying not to make a sound. And every time, my heart would beat faster, my hands shaking, and every time, when I got close, the figure would shift. Just slightly. Not enough to be fully human, but enough to make me stop dead in my tracks. I started avoiding it. I'd hang my clothes differently, fold them neatly, put them away before bed. But it didn't matter. The nights it wanted, it found a way. The shadow, the shape, it waited. Watching. Learning. And the worst part? The silence. Absolute silence, except for the creak of my floorboards when I dared move. Every tiny sound, amplified. Every breath, like a signal. And the figure, it would react. Sometimes swaying just a little, like it knew I was awake. Like it was aware of me. Not alive, maybe, but present. Real. I began dreading sleep. I'd stare at the ceiling for hours, pretending I wasn't scared. Pretending the wardrobe was just a wardrobe. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. But one night, it felt different. I woke up, still half asleep. And there it was again, a figure. Tall. Silent. Standing right by my wardrobe. My eyes squinted, trying to focus, trying to tell myself it was just my imagination. But the way it moved, just slightly, made me freeze. My breathing got heavy, my heart pounding so loud I could swear the figure heard it. I thought, maybe I should scream, or run, but I was paralyzed. I tried to blink it away, thinking maybe my eyes were playing tricks. But no, the shadow stretched just a little, leaning, tilting. My room felt different. Colder. The air heavier, like it was pressing down on my chest. I could hear my own heartbeat echoing off the walls. The wardrobe, my wardrobe, suddenly didn't look like furniture anymore. It looked alive. Watching me. Waiting for me to do something, any wrong move. I wanted to close my eyes, to pretend it wasn't there. But something told me, the moment I looked away, it would move closer. I could feel its presence, like a shadow crawling along the walls toward me. I tried to focus on the familiar, the handle of my wardrobe, the hanging clothes, but my mind betrayed me. Every hanger, every shirt, looked like a person. Watching. Waiting. My body shook. I wanted to breathe silently, to make no sound, to not provoke it. But I could hear it, almost like a whisper in the air, faint, taunting, calling my name without words. And that's when I realized, it knew I was awake. It knew I could see it. And that night, I learned that something can be alive, in the most ordinary things. Something that looks harmless, can be waiting. Watching. Patient. And when it's ready, it won't wait any longer. I considered running, but my legs wouldn't move. My mind screamed at me to get up, to throw the covers off, to escape. But my body, it refused. It was frozen, like something invisible held me down. The figure, my clothes, whatever it was, seemed to sense it. It leaned just slightly to the left. I could feel its weight in the air. Every instinct told me, don't look away. Don't move. Don't breathe too loudly. And then, I saw it. A shadow shifting where the clothes hung. Not a human shape exactly, too tall, too thin, like the fabric itself had become something else, something darker. My stomach turned, my throat dry, my heart hammering. Every second felt like minutes. Every breath I tried to take sounded like a scream. Time stretched. I could hear my own heartbeat, every thump louder than the last. And every now and then, a small sound. A hanger shifting. A shirt swaying slightly. And I'd tell myself, it's just wind. But there was no wind. Nothing else could make the wardrobe creak like that, not like it did. I could feel sweat trickling down my back. My hands shook under the covers. My mind raced with every story I'd ever heard, every nightmare, every tale of shadows that weren't just shadows. I wanted to scream, but the air felt thick in my lungs. I wanted to move, but my limbs weren't mine. And then, the whisper came again. Right in my ear. Not words, just a sound. A presence. A knowing. And I realized, this thing didn't need to speak to terrify me. It already had. And then, it happened. The shape leaned forward slightly, as if sniffing or testing me. My eyes widened, realizing, this was not my clothes anymore. It wasn't fabric or hangers. It was something else. Something patient. Something that had waited, maybe for years, inside the shadows of ordinary rooms, hiding in plain sight. My mind screamed, but my body, still frozen, paralyzed with terror. I blinked again, and it was gone. Or maybe, it wasn't. Maybe it was just hiding, waiting for the next moment I'd look away. And I realized. I couldn't tell where the clothes ended and, whatever else it was, began. Shadows, fabric, maybe something darker, all twisted together. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But I couldn't. And then, it moved. Just slightly, a lean, a sway, a whisper of sound that made my blood run cold. I could feel it leaning closer, without moving, just pressing. The shadows of my clothes stretched in ways they shouldn't. Sleeves drooped and twitched, like fingers flexing. Hangers shifted just slightly, like joints in a skeleton. And the worst, the absolute worst, was the feeling of being watched, even when I looked away. I tried to close my eyes. Pretend it wasn't there. But deep down, I knew it would move the moment I did. And every time I peeked, it shifted. And then, almost imperceptibly, a whisper. Not in words. Just a sound. Low, breathy, a hiss in the corner of the room. And I froze. My blood ran cold. It wasn't my imagination. Something else was here. Every night I thought I was imagining things. Every night I thought it was just clothes hanging there. It was learning. Watching my every reaction. Waiting for me to slip up. To look away. To breathe too loudly. To move. And I couldn't. I couldn't let it win. But my body refused to obey. And then I realized the most terrifying thing. I hadn't noticed it moving slowly closer. Not across the room, but across time. Across every night. Every night I thought I was alone, it was there. Watching. Waiting. Growing stronger. Learning. And I knew, one day, it wouldn't just be a figure in the shadows. One day, it would step out. And I wouldn't be ready. So now, every night, when I hang my clothes, I check. Every shirt. Every sleeve. Every hanger. Because I know. It's still there. Waiting. Patient. Watching. And when it decides, it will no longer be just clothes. I can't see its eyes clearly, but I know they're there, in the shadows, reflecting my fear back at me. Every shadow seems heavier. Every corner of the room feels wrong. And the silence, oh, the silence is the worst part. It presses down on me, thick and suffocating, until every nerve in my body is screaming. I tell myself, it's harmless. Just a trick of my imagination. But the feeling doesn't leave. It lingers. And I know, deep down, it isn't waiting for me to sleep anymore. It's waiting for me to look away. I've started noticing the smallest things. The faint twitch of a sleeve. A hanger that shifts ever so slightly when I'm not looking. The wardrobe, it feels taller. Narrower. Like it's leaning in toward me, just a fraction at a time. And the clothes, they don't just hang. They move. And when I look again, nothing has changed. Just clothes. Alone. Silent. But I know better. I know it's alive in some way. Waiting for the night when I let my guard down. And the strangest part, the most terrifying, is that it doesn't need to move fast to terrify me. Just the possibility of it moving. Just the knowledge that it's there, watching, is enough to make my heart pound so loud I'm sure it can hear it. I've tried to tell myself I'm imagining it. That it's just shadows, moonlight, or my tired mind. But sometimes I see the sleeve twitch before I even notice it. And the more I stare, the more I understand. It doesn't need to rush. It doesn't need to reveal itself fully. Just the fear it can evoke is enough. And maybe that's what it feeds on. I've stopped sleeping fully. Even a moment of deep sleep feels dangerous. Every creak, every rustle, my mind jumps to it. And the thing is, it doesn't have to do anything. Just being there is enough. Waiting. Watching. Patient. So I ask you, the next time you hang your clothes, or see a shadow in your room at night, really look. Not just with your eyes. Look with everything you have. Because sometimes, what you think is harmless, might be awake. Watching. Learning. Waiting. And when it decides, it won't just be clothes anymore. Comment below if you've ever seen something in your room that wasn't supposed to be there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you dare. But remember, sometimes It's already watching.